you'll see that Prabhupada uses this terminology, so I will use it as well. So, where are we? We're in the Srimad Bhagavatam now. The Pandavas have all left. Emperor Parikshit is ruling the world, and now we're about to learn how Emperor Parikshit gets cursed, and the Srimad Bhagavatam actually takes place, because we actually didn't get to the Srimad Bhagavatam subject matter completely yet. We have, or the original Bhagavatam spoken, at least a conversation between Shukadev and Maharaj Parikshit. But we're going to set the scene and learn how it happens very soon. It's happening right now, actually. So, before we begin, let us chant our pranam mantras. You probably need the screen, don't you? All right. If you want, Parth, you can take these. We have special guest Abhiram today attending class. Wonder who can get the class.
Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Krishna Pada Sagarita Vishakamitascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Ishwari Vishabhanisute Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Kucharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatadeshakarine.
First, we're talking our obeisances onto my Diksha Guru, Sri Shami Krishna Maharaj, for giving me spiritual life. I'd also like to offer my obeisances onto many Shiksha Gurus who have been helping me for some years now. And I want to offer my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas, especially those live here today, Parth, Abhiram, Sita, and Madhav. Past, present, and future as well, and online as well. Anyone who's hearing with a sincere heart, I consider you a Vaishnava as well, so I offer my obeisances to you. All of the Guru Varga, the lineage of Gurus, all the way up to the Supreme Lord himself, and even beyond. So we'll take the wisdom they're imparting to us, and we'll share it now. Where were we last? I have to kind of be a little bit more punctual today. Once when Maharaj Parikshit was on his way to conquer the world, he saw the master of Kali Yuga, who was lower than a Shudra, disguised as a king and hurting the legs of a cow and bull. The king at once caught hold of him to deal sufficient punishment. Shanaka Rishi inquired, why did Maharaj Parikshit simply punish him, or only punish him? Since he was the lowest of the Shudras, having dressed as a king and having struck a cow on the leg. Please describe all these incidents if they relate to the topics of Lord Krishna. So a couple things here. We have the personality of Kali was beating a cow. Even though he himself was a low class, or you could say, of the laborer class of society, more people who are simple, just trying to enjoy this material world. but he's dressed as a king, like he's some great personality. This is a symptom of Kali Yuga, that unqualified people will dress in qualified dress and have qualified positions, and then do abominable things, like abuse. Cows are especially sacred because they can cooperate with mankind and give mankind so many benefits, and themselves receive so many benefits from mankind. We were even talking, a cow's urine is antiseptic. It's actually a great cleaning agent. I don't know if you know this, but if you mix it with like vinegar and other things, it does a great job disinfecting, cleaning things. Cow dung is also purifying, also has disinfectant nature. It's incredible. Also, fire starter when you dry it and make a patty. They used to use it for stoves and for so many things. Agriculture, it fertilizes the field so wonderfully. There's really no better dung than cow dung for agricultural purposes. So even their stool and urine is beneficial. What's to speak of the milk and all the many benefits they have. I mean, bulls have been able to lug things and move things for hundreds, thousands of years. They're, incredible animals. And the cows themselves, just by their milk, being able to share their milk with not only their calves, but all of the excess amounts for human beings and all that are in their sphere. It's really an incredible animal. So to ever abuse a cow, to ever eat a cow, I think in America we have things like cheeseburgers and cheesesteaks, and it's an abomination actually, because what it's doing is imagine you found out some sick serial killer was killing lactating mothers and extracting lactation from them. Like my wife is feeding Abhiram, but some horrible person, if he kidnapped her, extracted her milk from her, then created a cheese out of her milk, then killed her, and then took her body parts and smothered her own breast cheese on her cooked flesh and made a burger out of her. We would think this is the most horrific thing ever. That's horrible.
Really is crazy.
Yeah, but actually this is what everyone does to the cow. This is normal society to the cow in Kali Yuga. It's so degraded. It's so evil. It's horrible actually. It's one of the worst things. How could you ever do that? In the Vedas, if you were to take the milk of another living entity, like in the Vedas, it was common for there to be other nursing mothers in children's life. In, say, the village, you say your mother was busy. Don't worry, auntie over there, or this sister, or anyone has some lactating milk, and then they will give also, and it's not a problem. Nowadays, that would be very weird, but this was common. But you would always consider the one who gives you milk to be a type of mother, to be a mother. So the cow is considered one of the 7 mothers of the earth, of society, because of it's giving us milk. So the turn around and to butcher your mother, eat her flesh, put her own breast milk back on the cow, what an abomination actually, and so sinful. And anyone who does this and is implicated in this activity, they're already paying for it. The largest cause of death in the U.S. is actually, I think in the world, is heart disease. Heart disease can almost exclusively be reduced significantly by avoiding red meat, which beef is the chief red meat, and it can be eliminated completely if you avoid meat, fish, and eggs altogether. But they're seeing the leading cause of death is simply due to people's sick appetites for abominable things, and it'll cause a sinful reaction. You see people are fatter than ever, more pathetic, more lazy than ever. Uglier than ever. It's crazy. You look at a picture from like the 1970s, especially in America. You just look at a picture of Craig, Hare Krishna. If you just look at a picture of America in the 1970s, and you see everyone's like attractive on the beach. Everybody. Like practically everybody, like 80-90% of people, they're lean, they have youthful beauty, and so on. Why? Because it was a much less sinful time, but because due to so many abominable habits that have been imposed upon us by modern science and technology and modern influences, and even advertisement influences, consumer influences, and so on, people are uglier than ever. And it's crazy, you know. But this is actually due to the sins. You know, ugliness is a result of sinful activity, actually. You know, I remember one time I was in college. It was the first time I ever tried LSD. And I remember looking in the mirror and just hating myself. Like, I hated the person that I saw in the mirror. I had a lot of self-esteem issues. I had a lot of problems at that point in my life. I was a 17, 18-year-old kid. But what I hated was, I was fatter than I wanted to be. I was, didn't take care of myself. I had pimples and this, that, and the other thing. And I just I felt like I looked horrible. And I did. Why? Because I lived a really sinful life, actually, at that time. You know, I was eating all kinds of abominable things. I was doing all kinds of abominable things, adharmic things, prioritizing all kinds of sinful things. And the result is a sinful appearance, a sinful life. And part of that is your bodily appearance and what's going on. So we have to, develop good habits. Not to not be ugly, but your life will reciprocate. But so anyway, Kali, back to the scripture here. Kali was a Shudra dressed in like a king and beating a cow and a bull. This is the most abominable type of activity, to harm cows and bulls, because they're so valuable to humankind. They're looking for our protection. This is where the vegans are right. We should protect all animals. This is where the vegans are wrong, that the animals also should protect us and serve us, and not every animal should be just pampered and spoiled like how Americans do with dogs. This is an improper relationship. There should never be a relationship where one person, except maybe a baby, but even so, the baby's duty later on is to grow old and actually to protect the parents. The putra, a son, means one who delivers the father. So the parents protect the child at youth, and then later on that child has to return the favor. This is the Vedic way. So anyway, any relationship, there should always be reciprocation. It should never be like, only give, only give, only take, only take. The vegans' ideas of how to treat animals is only give, only give, only give. And the materialist, abominable meat-eating society, their way they treat animals are only take, only take, only take, only take. But the Vedic system is a proper reciprocation of giving and taking, protecting the cows, utilizing, protecting the bulls, feeding them. Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt. Is that why when someone visits you and stuff, it's best you're getting from them the visiting, but it's good to offer them foodstuffs and things of that nature?
Well, yeah, it's part. Yeah, I mean it's like that, but there's something about guest culture in the Vedas that they have what's called the tithi. Actually, my Guru Maharaj, I first learned this a bit from my Diksha Guru, Shamik Rishi. And when we went to India, every time we went to his home, we were always so charmed by however devotees receive us. Here, the same thing. People come, we feed them, we talk with them, we sit with them. This is not American culture. This isn't rest of the world culture. But atithi, the principle, it means that the guest is as good as God, or even the guest is God. So Krishna or God has showed up in your home in the form of this guest. How are you going to treat them? So, the guest, also it's proper, if you're a guest, you should always bring a gift to a home. If you say you visit a home or visit anywhere. Actually, believe it or not, every time one visits a temple as well. I mean, every time me and my wife, we visit devotees or we visit a temple, we try to always bring a gift. This is Vedic culture. You live at the temple, you can't give a gift every day. But maybe you can. Maybe you just go pick a flower every day and give the gift of a flower, or a gift of your service or something like that. But anyhow, this is the proper culture. But it's as you said, it's a proper reciprocation of giving and taking. And, Vedic culture is all about giving. as well. But like we chant this. What are the 6 symptoms of the exchanges of love? Is dadati pratigranati, which means giving of gifts and receiving gifts. It's never just giving gifts. Receiving gifts is also part of the exchange. Also, there's a pleasure in giving, and if you don't give somebody else the opportunity to give, then you're harming them, actually. Just becoming a taker. That's why parents who spoil children, it's actually so foolish. The children should also, like when I grew up, my parents are coming today. I hope they're not watching. But when I grew up, my parents spoiled me, actually, quite a bit. They didn't make us do very much things around the home. Everyone else had so many chores, not us. We did whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted. And it actually caused character defects when we grew older. It caused some serious character defects of selfishness and all kinds of spoiled defects, where later on I learned the value of giving and not just taking. So you want to also give other people the opportunity to give as well. But what are the other ones? Guyama Kyati Prichati, which means revealing your own heart, like a giving of your own heart. And Prichati is, one of them. Guyang Akyati. Akyati is revealing your secrets, and Prichati is inquiring into their secrets. Only with devotees you really want to do this. You don't want to do this with materialists. Actually, you only want to do this with devotees. You don't want to get with everyone and start revealing your deep inner heart, because most people, if they're unfavorable towards the Lord, it's not good that you do that. But these loving exchanges happen between those devotional, godly people. And then what's the other one? Bhokte bojayate, chaiva as well. So feeding others and eating the food that they're offering and preparing. So these are the 6 symptoms, the loving symptoms of love. So I like this. Very important. But in Kali Yuga, we have a bunch of takers, and Kali himself is a taker, and he's beating the cow, exploiting, abusing the cow. He's dressed like a king, not qualified to be a king, but taking the position of being a king. And now we're going to see. But let's read the actual Bhagavatam now. Athavasya padamboja makaranda lihangsatam kimanyara saralape Yusho yada sadvyayaha. I'm captivated by the word makaranda, because we have this Krishna Deva Bhajantam Vande Manmana Samarukaramar Payanija Pada Pankaja Makarande. So I'm like, what is makaranda? But it's it's honey. So anyway, Athava, otherwise, Asya, of his, Lord Krishna's. Pada Amboja, lotus feet. Makaranda Liham. So liham must mean licking. Those who lick the honey from such a lotus flower. Satam, of those who are to exist eternally. Kim anyai, what is the use of anything else? Asat, illusory. Alapai, topics. Ayusha, of the duration of life. Yat, that which is. Asat vyayaha, unnecessary waste of life. This is a very important verse here. The devotees of the Lord are accustomed to licking up the honey available from the lotus feet of the Lord. What is the use of topics which simply waste one's valuable life? So remember the last verse, they were saying, I want to hear about Maharaj Parikshit. Why did he only punish this Kali, this lowest of Shudras? Why did he only give him that? But please describe all these incidents if they relate to the topics of Lord Krishna. Why? Because this is the real honey of life. This is the real import of life. We talk about so many things. We can talk about money. We can talk about politics. We can talk about sports. We can talk about so many things. And you could talk about all those things, and maybe they have some relationship to Krishna. Like I was talking to someone on book distribution the other day, and he was a lacrosse player at the university. And he was like a good-looking guy, like kind of like a big, like lax brow. And
Curly blonde hair.
yeah, had you seen him before?
I met him the other day and I said like the same exact thing you did, the same line. And he's like, hey, I got that. Anyways, it was really funny.
Yeah. So anyway,
I
I taught.
the Bhagavad Gita from his back.
Oh, cool. So I'm glad you ran into him. So anyway, he was a really nice guy, but he was like kind of like hesitant, like, why should I take a book from you? But what I ended up doing was I was talking to him about sports, and I was talking about how the Bhagavad Gita, it could help you overcome stress and situate you in a place of yoga where you're completely focused and, have the proper... And I compared it to an athlete's, when they're in the midst of like their athletic performance, they get in something called like the zone. And like it's like the Bhagavad Gita can teach you how to get in the zone all the time. And he was like actually really intrigued by this. He's like, yeah, I want to be in the zone all the time. So anyway, that's not the essence of Bhagavad Gita. But the ultimate zone is ultimately being immersed in bhajan to the Lord. So really any type of, this is an example, I was able to talk about sports with somebody to bring them a little closer potentially to the Lord. Maybe. Let's see if he reads it. But this is actually this is what we need to do. This is the topics we need to hear about. So what is the use of topics which simply waste one's valuable life? Prabhupada says, Lord Krishna and his devotees are both on the transcendental plane. Therefore, the topics of Lord Krishna and of his pure devotees are equally good. The battle of Kurukshetra is full of politics and diplomacy. But because the topics are related with Lord Krishna, hey, you relax a little bit, are related with Lord Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita is therefore adored all over the world. There is no need to eradicate politics, economics, sociology, etc., which are mundane to the mundaners. To a pure devotee who is actually related with the Lord, such mundane things are transcendental if dovetailed with the Lord or with his pure devotees. We have heard and talked about the activities of the Pandavas, and we are now are dealing with the topics of Maharaj Parikshit. But because all these topics are related to the Lord Sri Krishna, they are all transcendental, and pure devotees have great interest in hearing them. We have already discussed this matter in connection with the prayers of Bhishmadev. So there's many things that can be talked about, discussed. There's so much politics in the Mahabharata, diplomacy, all these things. And most of the Vedas. But if you talk about these things in relation to Lord Krishna, his pastimes, and even the pastimes of his devotees, this is actually wonderful. We hear so many stories of how Prabhupada, he acted in certain material circumstances that devotees themselves have to get in. And when we hear those stories and we face similar circumstances in our life, well, Prabhupada did like this, so I'll do it like this. So it's actually perfect to hear about how Prabhupada, what was his view on vaccines? What was his view on modern science, the moon landing, this, that, and the other thing. If we hear about how the pure devotees, those deeply connected to Krishna, how they approach this world where we have to navigate so many lefts and rights and twists and turns, it actually becomes perfect. So they wanted to hear about why Maharaj Parikshit didn't kill Kali, but then it said, if it pertains to Lord Krishna. But now he's going to tell because it does indeed pertain to Lord Krishna. But this is the only thing we should hear about. We shouldn't inquire, we shouldn't hear about all kinds of mundane things that are not in relation to the Lord or not in relation to our service to the Lord. So Prabhupada says, our duration of life is not very long, and there is no certainty of when we shall be ordered to leave everything for the next stage. Thus it is our duty to see that not a moment of our life is wasted in topics which are not related with Lord Krishna. Any topic, however pleasant, is not worth hearing if it is devoid of its relation to Krishna. So many people talk about so many things. My mom's always reading books. She's coming to. She'll bring a book, at least 1 or 2 books. Especially we have no TV here, so when we have no TV, then she reads books. It's a good quality.
Careful, now you do.
Yeah, but there's no actual ability to watch TV on there. I hope not.
There is.
Oh,
Actually, there is.
don't tell her. Don't tell her. I don't ever want to use it in that way.
My wife does the same though. She watches YouTube a lot. God and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, and she talks about all the accidents or this trial or
Yeah.
that stuff, and I just
This guy got shot, and
Yeah.
no, it
Every
is.
time I go to my parents, I hear
this
it.
guy
Yeah.
killed his whole family.
Yeah. But you know what? There are some things, like, for instance, this most recent shooting with Charlie Kirk. I've seen a whole wave of devotees. My wife even got a little too swept up. I'd be like, please delete that, from the Facebook. But anyway, so many waves of devotees have been encouraged by this person's desire to express their faith in their preaching and in their mission. And it's encouraged a lot of devotees to also similarly be more vocal with their faith and things like this. And in this way, talking about this seemingly mundane affair of an assassination, a public assassination in this country, can be related to Krishna, and it can be nourishing. And it doesn't have to waste one's life. But if anything is not related to God, if God is not the center of that conversation, it's a complete waste of life, actually. So Bhagavatam is clear on this over and over. You're going to see this over and over. But Bhagavatam is not for cheating religionists. There's so many religions that, yes, we worship God, we respect God because God fulfills all our desires. It's not really about God at all in the first place. It's about like me and mine. Well, God is the best way. If I just please this magic wish-fulfilling sky daddy, he will give me everything that I want. Like this. And so, this is most people's immature. This was my approach to religion when I was a child. I had a religion, but God was the genie who could give me whatever I want. I just had to pray and make the sign of the cross because I was Catholic. And then, then God will make me hit the ball nicely, or God will make me succeed in my school, or God will make me succeed in this, that, and the other thing. So anyhow, this is one level of God realization, but not very... So we have already discussed, Prabhupada saying, because all these topics are related to Lord Sri Krishna, they are all transcendental, and pure devotees have great interest in hearing them. We have already discussed this matter in connection with the prayers of Bhishma Dev. Our duration of life is not very... we read that. So any topic, however pleasant, is not worth hearing if it is devoid of its relation to Krishna. The spiritual planet Goloka Vrindavan, the eternal abode of Lord Krishna, is shaped like the whorl of a lotus flower. Even when the Lord descends to any one of the mundane planets, he does so by manifesting his own abode as it is. Thus his feet remain always on the same big whorl of the lotus flower. His feet are also as beautiful as the lotus flower. Therefore it is said that Lord Krishna has lotus feet. It's also said that our heart is like a lotus, a blooming lotus. And when we open our heart, it's like the opening of a lotus. And Lord Krishna is the one who also will sit and stand upon our heart. So there's so much lotus. And actually, if you see at the energetic level, all the energy centers open like a lotus. Like let's say in meditation, you could actually perceive these things if you're able to raise your energy through the spinal column. All of the different energy centers, they open like lotuses, and through the raising of your energy. So lotus has so much symbolic meaning and reference. So Krishna has lotus feet, and the devotees are used to licking the honey from those lotus feet. We are trying to get the mercy and the blessings. Everything related to Krishna is nectar, like honey. And so the devotees are known as like bumblebees, who are always trying to suck the nectar, extract the nectar from anything related to Krishna. A living being is eternal by constitution. He is, so to speak, in the whirlpool of birth and death due to his contact with material energy. Freed from such material energy, a living entity is liberated and is eligible to return home back to Godhead. Those who want to live forever without changing their material body should not waste valuable life with topics other than those relating to Lord Krishna and his devotees. So this is the eternal. There's nothing eternal about anyone or our life or anyone's life that isn't have to do with one's relationship with the Lord and the service therein. That's the only eternal thing. I am a servant of the Lord. I'm related to the Lord, and I am his servant. How should I act in that capacity? That's your eternal duty. Myself, I have some interest now in managing finances and paying bills, and even for like Madhav, taking care of the people who are serving here, making sure everyone's needs are thing. And in that way, I have to think about so-called material things, money, this thing, that thing, the other thing. But if I can genuinely in my heart see that these things are necessary to carry on the service of Krishna here, and that these things, if I think about these things, how I can better serve Krishna, then they can be perfected.
We can dovetail our activities.
That's right. All activities can be dovetailed. But dovetailed means like to link. Like it's like a carpentry term. When you meet wood at a certain way, you dovetail it where it links and it comes together properly. So a good fit is there. So all of same thing. Who our eternal prospect, we can take our activities. We don't have to change our position. We just have to link it and fit it in perfectly. How can we relate this to God? And this is Bhagavad Gita textbook, how we can do this. And even Bhagavatam, the whole Bhagavatam, will teach how different personalities link certain aspects of their life to the Lord and reach perfection. So anything else is a waste of time. Everyone is wasting their life. 99% of people we know on Facebook, we see in the street, they're just completely wasting their life because they have very little care or no care at all for God. But anyone who has the desire to understand God and to act in that relationship, only they can live forever. They can have eternal life, which is all the great spiritualists, Jesus and so on, they're promising this. So why are we focusing on anything else?
Prabhupada says that, like all our material endeavors, it's like adding zeros. But then adding Krishna, you put a 1 in front of all the
And he
zeros.
gives it value. Yeah, we have so many zeros, like the difference between 10, 100, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion, and so on. It's all just zeros, but depending on where you place that 1 in front of it will give it the value. So similarly, everything we do in this material world is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But if the Lord comes into the equation, if he's in the equation in a big way, it's like trillions upon trillions of value. But if he's in the equation in a little way, maybe it's got 10 value now. If he's in the equation in a bigger way, 100, and so on. So this is our this is the devotee's realization. And the devotee then cultivates their life in sadhana bhakti, where everything is related to the Lord. They because they become intelligent, they realize everything has to be connected to the Lord. I can't do anything that's not directly connected to the Lord. So this is our activities. Kshudra yushang nirnam anga martyanam ritam ichatam iho pahutu bhagavan mrityu shamitra karmani. Kshudra, very small. Ayusham, of the duration of life. Nirnam, of the human beings. Anga, of Sutta Goswami. Martyanam, of those who are sure to meet death. Ritam, eternal life. Ichatam, of those who desire it. Iha, herein. Upahuta, called for being present. Bhagavan, representing the Lord. Mrityu, the controller of death, Yamaraj. Shamitra, suppressing. Karmani, performances. O Sutta Goswami, there are those amongst men who desire freedom from death and get eternal life. They escape the slaughtering process by calling the controller of death, Yamaraj. Purport. The living entity, as he develops from lower animal life to a higher human being and gradually to higher intelligence, becomes anxious to get free from the clutches of death. Modern scientists try to avoid death by physiochemical advancement of knowledge. But alas, the controller of death, Yamaraj, is so cruel that he does not spare even the very life of the scientist himself. So many doctors are trying to save people's lives. Oh, I save lives for a living. No, you're just prolonging, maybe a little bit. You're prolonging the inevitable. And you yourself will die as well. You cannot be saved. The scientist who puts forward the theory of stopping death by advancement of scientific knowledge becomes himself a victim of death when he is called by Yamaraj. So many, we hear this now. The techno scientists, they're saying, oh, if we have this technology now, we can preserve life, we can have immortality. No. There's one process for immortality. It's God's process, and anything else you try will fail. And it has always failed and will continue to always fail. But you see, people are so foolish. They're trying to cheat death. They're trying to cheat the systems of God. They're trying to even cheat themselves of even knowing God exists, even believing in a God. Even though it's all around us, everything is working so perfectly. How the heck did we get in our little minuscule position in such a perfected situation where clearly intelligence is teeming from every part of existence? There must be a greater power, a greater intelligence who has organized this. Still, the people are so foolish because they're so intoxicated by whatever little, maybe it's sex pleasure, maybe it's food pleasure, maybe it's, acquiring items, the pleasure of acquiring things and defending it, and, maybe sleeping in different
But
types.
who really wants to live forever like this? You know what I mean?
Fools. Fools
It's
only.
miserable.
Yeah, it's a horrible situation in this material world. But fools, they want to try and live forever because they think they can enjoy. Maybe I can have sex in this world forever. Maybe I can eat good food in this world forever. Maybe I can acquire even more things and defend them forever. I can be a quadrillionaire, the world's first. Something like this. But very foolish. And they themselves will get called by Yamaraj, or the god of death.
There was a movie like that Burl Ives played a long time ago, and the movie title was The Man Who Wants to Live Forever.
Well, I can't imagine it was very good. Maybe it was, I don't know.
Nah, it was,
Yeah.
but I just remember the title.
So, but yeah, this is the foolish desire, but it's so Prabhupada says, what to speak of stopping death? No one can enhance the short period of life, even by a fraction of a moment. The only hope of suspending the cruel slaughtering process of Yamaraj is to call him, to hear and chant the holy name of the Lord. I mean, this was so, what brought the whole internet in by storm by this most recent assassination. He was only 31 years old. Such a young person. You never know. You never know when it's going to call you. A lot of Indians tell me, bhakti's for when you're older. Yeah, you can do all these things when you're older. You have no idea that you can leave here, you go right on the road, and you could go into oblivion. Why waste even a moment? The devotee is sober, and they realize jivana sando, meaning that at any moment you're on the verge of life and death, actually. At any moment. Me and my wife, even we took a few road trips, and we had Abhiram with us even. And we were on the New Jersey Parkway on the way back, and they hit someone else, and then they both stopped right in the middle of the highway, not pulled over, just stopped. And cars are flying around them. I'm parked behind the car who they stopped in the middle of the highway. Other cars are coming like 80 miles an hour around us. They don't know what's happening. And we're just like, my wife's with the baby, and we're like, oh my God, we could die right now. Luckily we didn't, but you never know. You never know when it's the end. I mean, Charlie Kirk, guarantee we didn't know. Oh.
It's ironic because he one of his ideology, like he says that people getting shot to death or whatever with guns is just a cost that we pay to have the Second Amendment.
Yeah. And then
Which I thought was kind of...
It's ironic, yes, And, interestingly enough, that's the one thing in there that doesn't so much align with the Christian values. Jesus, said cheek for a cheek, or, if someone slaps you, or he says to Peter, those who live by the sword die by the sword, and he did make a bit of a lot more than he probably should have about guns and maybe political things that didn't really carry the Christian message. He had some Christian message there. It was good what he was sharing. There are many good things he shared, but then interestingly enough, the Lord took him maybe in the one way that he may have been lacking. But the Lord has a perfect arrangement. Also, I mean, the thing that probably killed him is he was criticizing Israel and what was happening, and how all this and this Epstein files, they were using this child trafficking to blackmail the most powerful people of the world on both sides. He was saying things like that only a few weeks before he died, maybe 7 days before he died. And one of the conservative pundits, Ben Shapiro or something, he like looked at him like with huge eyes in the interview, like, what are you saying? Why are you talking like this? And yeah, that's probably why he died. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. These things don't really matter.
Actually was,
Yeah,
more
they'll
than
give us a
5.
story. Who knows what actually it is?
Well,
You
he
know.
was gay and,
Yeah. Whatever it is, I mean, they'll
I've also seen-
they'll tell us one thing. We have no idea what actually happened. We just know certain things, and who knows, really.
Well, we know he's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. Well, at least it looks like it. People have fake deaths too. You never know what's happened. Like even Hitler, it said he died in the bunker. Him and his wife killed themselves. But there was well-known CIA evidence and CIA documents that many Nazis, they went and escaped into, I think, Argentina and lived for many years there. And apparently Hitler was a proficient painter for like the next 30 years of his life after the whole thing. So you never know but I think Charlie Kirk is dead.
And then there's also
but-
the Elvis sighting too.
Yeah, you never know. Anything could happen. But I mean, we don't want to waste our life talking about these things so much. But if they relate to the Lord, it could be perfect conversation. If you talk about Charlie Kirk shooting to help people get a deeper appreciation for the Lord, it's good. If you talk about it in any other way, then it's a waste of life. And so on. And everything is like this. TV, movies. Actually, today we have a surprise for everyone. Yesterday, Mahavatar Nrsimha came out on Netflix. So we thought today, we have this TV. My parents are here.
What's it called?
Mahavatar Nrsimha.
Oh, that's the one.
Nrsimha.
Came out on Netflix.
It came out on Netflix yesterday. So if you want, you can come over tonight, and we're gonna watch it when my parents are here. We'll watch it. We'll see if they.
I watched the new Superman movie yesterday, so
Yeah. No, come watch Mahavatar Nrsimha.
this would be better.
Yeah, that would be really nice. So yeah, I think we'll try and get a Netflix account up on here, and then we'll watch it. Matt, that could be one of your projects today. Is help us. We have a bunch of Netflix accounts. I don't know if Netflix will allow a new
Just
computer.
have to be careful because you can't use someone else's Netflix account. They change some things. So
Yeah.
you have to get some.
You have one?
Yeah. that's-
Well, I have one too.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have. I'm saying though, but when you try to do it in a different location, it gives you some trouble now. So.
Okay. So you're the tech expert with this. I know we have access somewhere.
Yeah,
So-
that's right. There's a lot of stuff. Amazon
Yeah.
and stuff.
So anyhow, but for the Lord, we're going to overcome whatever obstacles there so we can present Mahavatar Nrsimha to my parents today. And us. I've been so excited to see it. I want to see what, this blockbuster movie has created by ISKCON devotees. In one of the dedications is to Srila Prabhupada. I mean, we should watch. We should see what they've presented. So anyway, normally movies are a complete waste of life, but not this movie. Because it's related to the Lord. Very good. So now let's just finish this. What to speak of stopping death? No one can enhance the short period of life even by a fraction of a moment. The only hope of suspending the cruel slaughtering process of Yamaraj is to call him to hear and chant the holy name of the Lord. Yamaraj is a great devotee of the Lord, and he likes to be invited to kirtans and sacrifices by the pure devotees, who are constantly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Thus the great sages, headed by Shonak and others, invited Yamaraj to attend the sacrifice performed at Naimisharanya. This was good for those who did not want to die. So the best way to appease the god of death from his cruel judgment upon all of us is to appeal to his desires. He's a devotee of the Lord. To call him, and what's the main thing he likes, is yagya to the Lord. And in this age, the main yagya is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So every day, we're chanting the holy names of the Lord here. For Arati, we're doing so many pujas, worship of the Lord. We're offering the prasadam to the Lord. We're honoring the prasadam to the Lord. And we have our own sadhana practice. We're reading literatures of the Lord. We're hearing lectures about the Lord. Hopefully, we're chanting the holy names of the Lord, like anjapa beads and things like this. So these are all things you can do throughout the day. You can sing about the Lord constantly. So this actually will appease Yamaraj and actually save one from death. Even says in the Bible, those who call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. I know the modern Christians, this was in the Old Testament, the modern Christians, they say, no, there's only one way to salvation now. And Jesus erased that. But no, he said, I did not come to change the law, I came to fulfill it. But this is the way, to call upon the Lord. He was the Lord, actually. So anyone who calls upon Jesus as well and recognizes Jesus will also be saved. And to not recognize Jesus as a God or a pure manifestation or a representative of God is also, not recognizing the Lord. So it doesn't have to be in contradiction, but we have our fundamentals everywhere. I'm sure I'll hear a thing or two about it later on today. So I'm preparing myself. I have to, every time my dad comes, though, I got to give him credit. He really reawakens the need for bringing Jesus into the equation. Because if I don't, I'm going to lose him, or he's going to say something stupid or do something stupid, and I have to in front of other people and devotees. So I have to, make sure he's appeased with so much Jesus. So I have a special class planned. I haven't planned anything actually, but Jesus will be there. Jesus. If I don't invite Jesus, I'm going to displease his devotee here. And so then I have to appease him. So anyhow, let's end here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Let's not waste our lives and engage with so many material things. And if there has to be some duties done, how can we engage them in the Lord? You see this all the time. Madhav is cooking all day, or doing this all day, this thing, but he's listening to lectures of the Lord. Many of us, we do so many things. Sometimes I'm watching markets go up and down, and this and that, chanting Hare Krishna. Sometimes I need to Krishna for help more than other times as well. But this is what we have to do. If we have to manage our affairs in this world, the Lord has to be involved in the equation. If the Lord is not involved in the equation, every activity that you'll do will be a complete waste of time and a waste of life. So I pray for all of us to engage with the Lord. I have some duties today. I have to have a relationship with my parents. So if I don't somehow bring the Lord to the equation, the table here, it'll just be a complete waste of my time, and I'll probably less and less invite my family. That's the hope, actually. That's the great hope. But my mom and dad, my dad won't be. My dad will sleep. He'll sleep right on that couch.
We'll actually be very happy with this couch is here.
Yeah. My dad will sleep right there, but my mom may watch the movie. She likes movies, so we'll see. So this one's
But
true.
he'll get the sound vibration in his while he's sleeping.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The sound is the only sense that actually reaches the soul.
Yeah. So maybe at least that will be there. But yeah, I mean they'll be there for kirtan and everything tomorrow too. But as of right now, not much that we've done has reached yet. Some has happened for sure, but not as much as we were hoping. But pray that they can get a beautiful dose of the Lord by Krishna's arrangement, that he can help them get closer. That's our goal as devotees, is to help bring ourselves and everyone closer to the Lord.
But he comes here and he takes prasadam.
Oh, yeah.
He hears and stuff. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. And then they render service to the devotees. They're like, oh, yeah, today I'm going to have him go and help me get water for the ashram and stuff like that, just to get like a ride out. He likes to go for drives and stuff like that. And I also like to be productive when they're here too. So anyhow, so they do service. So many good things are there. So we keep inviting them. We keep telling them to come. But and if we just talk about mundane things, we'll have a mundane relationship, and it'll be mundane. It'll actually waste both of our lives, but all of our lives. But if we can dovetail this relationship to go to help them go deeper with the Lord, and myself also go deeper with the Lord, then it's perfect. Then it's good. It's nourishing. So I wish everyone that in all of your relationships, including your professors and your colleagues and your clients or your wife or your children. I wish that for all of us in all of our relationships. So Grantharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki
Jai.
Jai. I have to go because
Take Abhi on a walk.
I'm gonna be in Nishinga's class and I have to cook.
Okay, well, Didi's won't get dressed for Sunday program if you don't take him on a walk.
I will take him for a walk after that.
I've taken him on a walk.
I'll
Very
take him
good
at
on a
10.
walk.
But
No,
for
he's-
40 minutes,
He's tired now.
I just
Are
try to.
you gonna do a ride today?
Did I?
What?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to know.